Good morning, Naomi Dawn here from Naomi Dawn Designs, and for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. If you're new to BAMP, welcome. For those of you who've been here for a little bit or who joined me on BAMP 2018, welcome back. So I've rebranded. I did explain in my last video why I'd rebranded, but the group is the same link. I haven't changed that, I've just renamed it, and you'll still get all the stuff that goes on. So for this mini BAMP, we're making a twist on something that already exists. It's something I've personally done before, but I haven't seen anyone else do, so I'm going to teach it to you. So there's a lot to cover in today's video. This is a mini that once you know what you're doing, you can make one a day. You could batch make them. It's a sort of mini that you could make in advance, and they're great if you're doing craft fairs or if you're doing Christmas presents, or you need to do bulk presents for something such as a wedding. So I'll stop talking and let's get on. For today you will need 6 sheets of the cardstock that you're working with to make your page. Okay, again I'm using black, it is my favourite colour to use. If you're finding it hard to see what I'm doing in the tutorials on black, please comment and let me know, and I'll try doing them in a different colour. Okay, you will also need whatever tool you're cutting with, whatever tools you're scoring with. I can do both with my trimmer. You will need a bone folder, you'll need some adhesive, some post-it notes and a pen or pencil. Okay, now I'm using wet glue again, but you can use tape on this. There won't be pockets like we had on BAMP 2018, so it's up to you which adhesive that you use. Okay, let's clear this out the way a little bit. Okay, the first thing we are going to do, and you're going to do the same with all 6 sheets, is you're going to cut them down. So you need them in this way up, which is landscape. We're going to cut all of the sheets down so you get 2 pieces that are 14 centimetres wide from each sheet. So you should end up with 6 pieces that are 14 centimetres wide by A4, which is about 21 centimetres. Okay, so I'll just show you the first sheet. Okay, so you're going to do that with all 6 sheets. So rather than have you watch me, because there is a lot to cover in this video, my suggestion is pause there and we'll get back together once everybody's got their sheets cut down. So you'll end up with 12 pieces that measure 14 by 21 centimetres. Okay, talk to you in a second. Okay, so now we have 12 pieces of cardstock that are 14 centimetres wide and 21 centimetres tall, roughly. It's the height of your A4. Okay, post-it notes are a must for this bit. So we're going to do this twice for this part, and I will caption at the bottom of the screen. So this is your first piece, and you're going to do the same with the second piece. We are going to score at 14 centimetres. I'm actually going to remove my cutting tool so I don't get tempted. We're going to score at 14 centimetres and again at 13 centimetres. Okay, so you've got 2 score lines. Can I just say I've changed my black cardstock that I usually use. I usually use a basic black and it's great. This one is from the works. It's £1 for 8 sheets and 200 GSM, but I'm not loving this one. It doesn't feel like 200 GSM, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to do the same again. We're going to score at 14 and at 13, and we're going to label both of those top. Okay, so the next one, we're going to do it again. We're going to do this twice. This time we're going to score at 15 and at 14. And this is all centimetres. Okay, just doing that one again. This time we need 4 pieces, so count up 4. And again, these are all going to be scored the same way. Okay, so again, this will be at the bottom of the screen. You need to score at 19.5. Okay, so your first score line is 19.5. Just double checking I've got that lined up right. 19.5, 19, and 5.5. So you should end up with this. You've got 2 that are quite close together, and you've got another one here. And we're going to label all 4 of those inner. Okay, on to your last 4 sheets. I'm sorry if it seems that I'm rushing you a little with this video, but there's a lot to cover in one video, and I do need to try to get the editing down to about 30 minutes because I think that's about long enough for a tutorial. When I first started out, and I did used to follow tutorials, I always used to watch it all the way through. Then I'd watch a bit, pause, do it, watch a bit, pause, do it. So I'm assuming that's what other people do as well. Okay, so scoring for this one is a little different, and again, captions at the bottom. So we are going to score at 19.5, 18.5, and 5. Right, I know we're partway through, but I've just redesigned a little bit of the album. So if you grab your 2 pieces that say top, okay, you need it so you've got the bigger piece to one side and your 2 score lines. We're going to cut a bit off of here, the smaller piece, okay. Okay, if we take that down, yeah, we're going to go down to 15.5. I've just decided we don't need that much of a flap on that side. So this is a big part, yeah, Then you've got 2 score lines, and we're trimming a bit off of this side. So this is the bit that needs to go into your trimmer, that'll be in here, and we're cutting down to 15.5. So you'll end up with a piece that looks like this. So there's your dig that you had before, your 2 score lines, and that dig flap that we had there is now down to that snatch. Okay, so once again, you've got your dig there, 2 score lines, and then you've got that little piece there. And that's all of the cutting that we're doing today. What we'll do is we'll build one at a time, because we're actually making 2 albums all in one, that will go into one. It will make sense as we go through. So split everything into 2 piles. So you should have the top and the bottom for each pile, 2 inners in each pile, and 2 outers in each pile. Okay, we are going to build everything in one go, don't worry. It's just I find this a bit easier. So the first piece we're going to grab is the top, and we are going to go along the crease lines, the score lines, with the bone folder. Actually, I'm going to make it easier because I don't want to confuse you. My suggestion is work on one side at a time. So we're just going to work on this stack, and then I suggest you rewind the video back to, I'll try and find out what the mark is and put you a caption up here, but then rewind and do the same thing again to build the other side. Okay, so the top, we've gone along the crease lines. You're going to take the bottom, I'm going to do the same again, you're going to go along the crease lines. I've done this enough times that I can build both sides at the same time, that you'll end up with this. Okay. The way that this is going to work is this will be the back, this flap will come up from the bottom, and this flap will sit like this at the top. Okay, so what we're going to do is apply your adhesive in here. We're going to stick it to the bottom like so. All of your gluing will be on the back. Okay, if you're worried about bulk, because we are going to be adding layers, I do suggest you miter the corners. I'm just going to grab my scissors. If this is your first video with me, it's just cutting the corner off. We go up to the corner but not over the corner. You don't want to end up with that little gaps. And we just cut a small triangle off. It helps cut down on bulk, and it makes your work neater on the back. So as I said, this is your back piece, this is your top piece, and we're going to glue it down so that you end up with 2 flaps here, and your glue is going to actually go here, your adhesive. So the top part of your back, if that makes sense, butts up to the score line on the top. And this is how it'll look from there. So this is your bottom piece, all of this, and then from this flap onwards, that's your top piece, and that will sit like that. Okay. Now you need 2 of your inners. So it's these. And I'll show you how the creasing works with this. So we are going to fold this piece. This is the wider piece. So you've got your score lines here. This piece is going to go this way. Okay, so that's gone that way. These creases are going to go this way, so turn it over. Do both your score lines. And you'll end up with something that looks like this. So you've got the little flap here and a bigger one here. And I'm just going to knife to the corners and then I'll show you that again. You'll notice I'm leaving post-it notes on it so that I can show you what's what. So there's my bottom, the top, and we've just done the 2 inners and I'll show you where they go. So open this up, this is your bottom flap, this is your top flap. I'll move that round actually. Might make more sense. So there's your top, there's your bottom. We're going to take one of the inners and we're going to stick it here so that your tab, flap, whatever you'd like to call it, sticks on the back of the album. Okay? It doesn't matter which side you do first because we are doing both. So don't worry about it being upside down, it just needs to be positioned correctly. So open up your top, open up your bottom, and then that will stick there. Right, you need to make sure it lines up between your score lines on the back. Or your album won't work. Okay. So here's your top, the bottom, and there's your inner that you've just stuck down. Okay. The back now looks like this. We're going to put the one that goes on the other side on now. So grab your other inner. This is going to go this way up so that your little flap tucks under there. Same as we did on the other side. And this is what you now have. This will hold a lot, and I do need a lot of photographs. Okay, with me so far? Okay, we're going to move on to the outers, and you fold these the same way as the inners. So this is the wider piece, and that's going to go over this way. We go over the top. And then these ones are going to go this way, so flip it over. For me, the longest part of making these albums is whether I change the design every single time I make them. I don't think I've made two the same yet, or not identical anyway. I've got to rework out all the measurements and stuff, so usually I do this a lot bigger, but I wanted this to be, as I said, it's a mini BAMP. I've shrunk the size down. So I'm used to working on something that's like a good 2 inches, like good 2.5 centimetres bigger each way. So there's your outer, got the flap there, got this bit that you're going to stick down, so you're going to knife to the corner. And this is a very adaptable design. You can make them as big or as small as you want. You can have as many flaps as you want once you've learnt the principles. It's very easy. Right, your outers will go over the top of your inners, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's show you from the beginning. If you open up the top, open up the bottom, this outer is going to go here, like that. Yeah, it's going to go over your inner. Okay, so that's the bottom flap and the top flap, and this is going to go over here. And sit over the inner. Making sure that everything lines up. Okay, and I'll show you that again. This one's going to go this way, so that it sits like this. This is your top flap, this is your bottom flap. This is going to sit on this side like this. So again, we're just going to go applying the glue in here, or tape if you're using tape. I find wet glue a lot easier for this because I can wiggle things around till they're lined up properly. But the pros out there, you might want to use tape. And that's your first half done. So, I'll put that down. To top and your bottom, You've got your outer, outer, inner, inner. Everywhere you say here, 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 even here if you wanted to, here, here. Alright, let's work it out actually. Actually no, we can't work out how many photos yet, not till I do all my little tricks inside. So that is 1/2 of your album made. Okay, so if that was confusing, go back and watch it again. If you've got any questions, I'll try and clarify. We are literally going to make that all over again using this stack so that you've got 2. Okay, you'll end up with 2 of these. They won't be joined at this point, we'll join them later. Okay, so I'll put a timestamp here just to let you know where to roll back to, and that'll let you start on this again using this stack, so you've got 2 separate album pieces. Okay, let's call that one page and this another page. Okay, so I'll join you again once we're all caught up there. So now what you should have is 2 of these. Now one of these on its own is a wallet album. What we are going to be doing is putting both of these into a hardcover, so it opens up, so you've got the 2 of these and then it's got all your flaps. I am going to do something a little different with the pages inside rather than just cover them, which you can do, but I'm going to do a little twist. I like to do a little twist every time I make these. It just stops them all from being the same. These are great for batch making. You could give one of these on its own, decorated and embellished as a gift, and it's there. You don't have to do anything other than that. Just add your paper, add your embellishments, it's done. We're going for the double, as I said, 2 in a hardcover, and it does make it that extra bit special, and it fits so many photographs in there. I've done this before for somebody else. For today we're going to stop here. As I said in the intro video, I won't be doing bonus features for this one. I don't really think it needs it, but my next big BAMP I will do bonus features for. So I'll open one of these up, and you should hopefully have yours doing the same. So you've got the top and the bottom flap. You've got 2 outers. It doesn't matter which way you've got these covering. Okay, and then you've got 2 inners. I have also made these where I've got flaps that come out at the top and bottom, but for this one I didn't want to do that. Okay, so you've got 2 of those, and in the next video, which comes out on Wednesday, we will be adding all of the DSP. As I said, it's not going to just be a straightforward stick, 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 stick. There are going to be some flaps and folds and stuff for you to play with. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I hope that made sense to you. If it didn't, please get in touch. Please leave me a comment and I'll try my best to clear up anything you didn't understand. So talk to you Wednesday. Take care. Bye.